Hey everybody. So I've been working on this wrap for the YPC, and I kind of worked up my own little pattern again, you know how I do, using the Cabbage Patch stitch, which I've used before to make like baby blankets and stuff. It makes a nice, kind of a dense, low hole fabric with an interesting texture. But it's what I like about it is that it's really fast. You set it up and then it's just a 2-row repeat and you just go, go, go. So with no counting, you know how I like those ones where you don't have to count once you get started, no more counting. So I'm going to just give you a quick tutorial on how to do it. Now, I've already started this one, so I will be doing some backtrack explaining. If you do better with written instructions, the pattern is available on our website as of Thursday. I think it will be up Wednesday or Thursday. So you can keep an eye out for the written pattern there. But I can show you, at least give you an idea. Some of you may be able to just go from this, how to do it. Okay. I'm using Barocco Vintage, which is so heavenly soft and squishy. I just love it. I love its medium price point, and I love the depth of the color. It has lots of like flecks of color in it. So that's what I'm using to do it. And an eye hook on that yarn is what I'm using now. This, again, is not limiting. You can use any yarn and any hook with, you know, to do this stitch. I will say it would probably show up better in something that is, you know, chunky or worsted or DK. Yeah, chunky maybe is the thickest I would go, and smaller you're going to start to lose some of the finer detail of the stitch if you use like a really, really bulky yarn. It just probably won't show up as good. So that's just a recommendation though. I don't really know for sure. I'm guessing based on my experience, vast as it may be. Anyway, so let's have a look at it, and I'll sort of walk you through how to get started, and then I'll show you how to do the 2-row repeat real quick. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to mention is that this doesn't really have a firm right side, wrong side, but I will tell you that this is technically the right side, and there's a slight difference. If you look, you can see all the little X's are popped out on the front side of this, and that gives it this really nice texture. See what I mean? And this would technically be the wrong side, but it has its own appeal, I think. So that being said, you are looking at what is technically the wrong side right now, because that's what side I'm on. So I'm going to just kind of walk you through the beginning of this on this side. So to start this, you basically need to chain a number. Okay. I chained 89, and actually I foundation half double crocheted because I prefer that for starting things. But I did 89, and I did this bottom row here with that, and that gave me a width for a rectangle wrap of about 24 inches. Then you just turn and chain 1, and you double crochet in the first and then each stitch all the way across here. Okay, so that's how you get this kind of little border. It just gives it a firm edge, a nice straight firm edge, and something for you to work the 2-row repeat into without trying to start it right from the chain, because that doesn't look as nice and it's kind of harder to do it that way. So then once you get this part done, you'll come back around, and what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1 and then double crochet right into the very first stitch right here. Okay, and then you're going to double crochet in the very next one. Then you're going to skip 2, and you're going to put 4 double crochets in that third. And after that, you just repeat all the way across. Skip 2, double crochets, skip 2, 4 double crochets, all the way across the row. However long your row is, that's how you do it until you reach the other side. You want to leave space for, so basically you need to leave 4 stitches, because you want to be able to skip 2 again when you get to the end here. Sorry. There we go. So there's my last shell. Skipping 2 right here. And then I'm going to double crochet in the second to the last stitch. And then I'm going to double crochet in the last stitch. And then I'm going to turn and chain 1. Okay? And once I get up there, I'm going to be doing what I'm doing up here already. So I have turned and chained 1. And this is the second row of the pattern repeat. And this is the one that people seem to kind of just get a little bit confused by. By the way, this is what you're chaining 2 and 2 double crochets. Leaves this nice sort of lacy straight edge border on both sides. And that's one of the reasons to do it. So I have chained 1 and turned, and I have double crocheted in my first and my second here. And then I chained 2 right here to do this. Okay. Now I am going to scoop all the way over to the 4th double crochet of my first shell. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to double crochet in that one, in that 4th one. Okay. Then chain 2. Need a little room to maneuver here, so, and then I'm going to double crochet in the first double crochet of that shell. So first you do the 4th one, and then you do the first one. And how you do it, this always takes a little bit of maneuvering. So yarn over, hold the shell between your thumb and your middle finger of your yarn hand if you can, just to hold it firmly so you can see what you're doing. And then go in the front of the stitch, through the back like you would, but instead of going all the way back behind that double crochet that you did, don't do that. Pop yourself up right behind the stitch like this and do another double crochet. So when you're finished, this is what it should look like. That first one that you did that's in the 4th should be laid across the back like that, and the second one you did that's in the first one should be standing straight up with that chain 2 hanging off the side of it. It looks kind of weird, right? Like, what the heck? Watch what happens when you go to the next one. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to reach all the way over to the 4th double crochet of the next shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th one, and double crochet in it. Now, how's that going to lay flat, right? Yarn over, find the first one right here, reach in, let your hook scooch right up through that center that you made, and double crochet again. And now you have this crossed double. See that? On the top of that shell before. And that's what you do all the way across. So I'm going to do that again, but I'm really going to try to focus in on the second part of doing this because, again, that's what seems to confuse people the most. So in the 4th double crochet of the next shell, we're going to double crochet, chain 2, need that room to move, don't forget the chain 2. Okay, and it looks like this. Now, there's the first one. Okay, so I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to reach down and insert my hook, and I'm just going to move that other one out of my way. So this is what it should look like. Here's that one that you did in the 4th, and here's the one you're doing right now. You don't go over it, you kind of go in front of it like that, so that when you finish in the back it looks like this. There it is, kind of laid over sideways. Then when you reach over to the next one, that's what pulls it into an X shape. See? This gets, it's so fast. You don't even, you don't really count anymore. You just can feel with your finger, like where the next shell is. And you really don't have to fiddle around with it too much, which I like. I like that it kind of looks a little fiddly, but it's not. And it's just that fast. And as you work it, you get this nice, pretty texture on the front side. And that's why it's called the Cabbage Patch stitch, because it just looks like little rows of cabbages that are flowering a little bit on top. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So after you finish that row where you make these little X's like this, then you're going to do your first row again, which is shells. Only this time, and you know, from after the very first one, from the whole rest of the stitch set, you do them like this. So I have turned, and I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to double crochet. I'm doing that little edge, double crochet right in that very first stitch, and in the very next double crochet here, and then chain 2. That's what's giving me that nice straight edge with that lacy little border. Then I'm going to go right over in here, inside the X, and do 4 double crochets, which creates another shell. And right into the next one, 4 double crochets. And the next, right here. Nothing hard, nothing fancy at all. After a bit, you'll just know you did 4. You'll just know if you didn't do 4. And that's what you get. And then after I reach the end of this row and do my little 2 double crochets on the other end, chain 2 double crochets, then I'll swing back around, and then I'll be working this X row again, this cross row, where I do this part and chain 2, and then I put a double crochet in the 4th, chain 2, and put a double crochet in the 1st, and move back across again. And that's the 2 row repeat. So I hope that makes it clear for you. And again, if it doesn't, the pattern drops on Thursday at the latest. Okay? Okay. It's going to make a beautiful wrap for the YPC. This yarn, vintage yarn, very nice, washable, acrylic wool blend, has a lot of definition, has a lot of softness, has a lot of really pretty depths of color to it, little flecks of darker and brighter green all through it. I really, really like it. So give it a try, see what you think, but that is how you do the Cabbage Patch stitch set. And like I said, if you need written instructions on how to do it, I will have a pattern up for doing this wrap, which is a really easy way to learn how to do it, in the next day or 2 on the website. Okay? Okay, Stash Busters. Happy yarning.
Yarn.